What's up, guys? So after a 3-year break from BMWs and this YouTube channel, I finally got another BMW again. This is a 2018 M4, 30,000 miles, Silverstone gray exterior. I really like how it looks. It looks blue under certain lighting conditions. Unfortunately, not the competition package. There was a white 2016 competition that I really wanted, low mileage. Sold before I could get to it, but at least I got the LCI. Really like the LCI taillights. I've had the car for almost 2 months. Since then, I did 20% tint on the windows. Didn't want to go too dark because the interior is white. And it looks nice when you can see the interior a little bit through the windows. Other than that, I got it detailed, paint corrected, and I PPF'd the entire front end. You can't even tell. Can't see any like wrap lines or anything, but full fenders, full hood, mirror caps, and a few extra stuff, bumper obviously. And then other than that, I added an aluminum skid plate. Made a video on that if you're interested in putting one of those on your car, which you definitely should, because the oil cooler sits right behind the front bumper. And if you hit your oil cooler on like a rock or a steep driveway, speed bump, whatever it is, you could crack it, lose a bunch of oil, and blow your engine. Now, in terms of exterior mods, that's all I've done so far, but I have a lot more planned, and I ordered most of what I need already. I ordered front lip, side skirts, diffuser, wing, exhaust. I have all that stuff in my garage already. Just gotta install them, but I wanted to get this video out first. I wanted to get some footage before I add all that stuff so I can have good like before and after clips for comparison. But let's move into the interior now. So it has this white on black interior, white seats. I don't know what the official name of this color is. It is kind of a light gray, not exactly white, but close enough. I'm gonna call it white. Stepping into it, it has these blue M1, M2 buttons, start stop buttons blue, and the gauges are blue. So that was already there when I got the car, and I'm actually not a huge fan of it. I actually like the OEM gray gauges, and I think I'm just gonna put those back. Also, whoever installed these didn't quite get any of the blue pieces sitting correctly, so I don't know if you can tell, but the mile per hour needle sits below 0. Gas gauge will sit below 0. Like, all of them are just slightly misaligned, and it looks weird. But other than that, the interior is pretty nice. Came with a lot of carbon OEM. Previous owner, I'm assuming, added this and this, because I don't think these are OEM. I added this, a carbon fiber handbrake cover, which I have a video on it if you want to get that for your car. It looks pretty nice. Other than that, it does have the nice leather upgrade. So everything is like, including the dash, everything has the like nicer leather versus your standard. And then in terms of interior modifications that I've done so far, I have my little phone mount. I think this sits in the perfect position. The only complaint I had with the phone mount is when you would floor it, your phone would kind of fall forward too low. It would like flip like this, but I solved that issue by wrapping a little zip tie around the bottom of it, and now it can't go too low. Got the Uniden R8 radar detector with this ugly cord dangling down, but that's not going to be a problem for long because I already ordered the hardwire kit for it. Other than that though, I also have the VFO A229 Pro dash cam, which includes a front 4K camera and then a rear 2K camera with parking mode. So if your car's parked and someone hits you, it will start recording. It'll detect like motion and G-forces and stuff. Now let's go over the things that are wrong with the car, which there isn't a whole lot wrong with it, and fortunately nothing major, but some little scratches on the interior here, some more little scratches here, and then I'm assuming this is because the windows were not tinted, and this car was originally owned in California, got a lot of sunlight, but I don't know if that's actually the cause. But these the leather here is kind of bubbled up, so if anyone knows how to fix this, let me know. I don't know if you can just like use a heat gun and try to stick it back, or if it's a more complicated process. One more thing. When we go under the hood, it looks like I might be leaking a little bit of coolant here, but you know, it wouldn't be a real BMW if it wasn't leaking something. All right, let's actually drive the car now. And I'm gonna be comparing it a lot to my F30s, just cause that's what I was used to driving. Initial impressions. Of course, put the parking brake down before you start driving. All right, initial impressions with the car. One of my biggest complaints with the F30 was that the suspension felt too like floaty. It never quite felt connected to the road. Now, obviously you could fix that pretty easily with coilovers or something. I never did that, but this one does not have the adaptive suspension. It's just a basic one and feels good to me, just stock. It's not uncomfortable. The only time it feels rough is if you're on a really like rough, bumpy road. Even then though, it's not too bad. So just for daily driving, feels pretty good, but at the same time, it doesn't have that floaty feeling like the F30. I've heard people say that like the BMW M cars feel like they're hugging the road sometimes, like if you feel really connected, and this feels kind of feels like that. I'm still gonna do aftermarket suspension though, just because I want to lower the car. I don't like that monster truck wheel fitment. Next thing to go over though is gonna be the steering or handling. So it feels really tight. When I go like back and forth like this, there's really not a whole lot of play. Like it feels very direct. Now the steering feel itself is feels very artificially heavy. So there's 3 modes. I think it's Comfort, Sport, and Sport Plus for steering, and I'm always in Comfort for the steering. Even if I'm doing like aggressive driving, I feel like the Sport Plus is just a little bit too much. It feels like artificially heavy, but without really giving you any good feedback or anything. It's just heavy just to be heavy, just because I don't even know. I guess this was BMW's, I think this was their first attempt at electronic steering instead of a hydraulic steering. Now, I've actually never driven E90, E92 M3, but my friend just bought one, so I will very soon, and I'll see how that compares to this. And I'm sure I'll make a video with the 2 cars side by side and do a comparison. All right, here's one of those roads that are a little more rough. Go slowly here, but it doesn't feel uncomfortable to me. Next, let's talk about the sound. And I'll put in a little revving clip and cold start clip for you to see on this car. So right now it just has the OEM muffler, the giant bulky BMW muffler that feels like it's too big and hangs too low, and even the new M3s, old M3s, they all have that. But yeah, it doesn't sound very good. It's not the M Sport, M Performance or whatever muffler, but I already have a full exhaust for it. I just ordered the like $700, $750 Alibaba exhaust. Have it sitting in my garage, just need to install it. Yeah, you don't get much sound with this car with the OEM muffler. I feel like when I'm accelerating, a lot of the sound I get is like the fake engine noise that the cars like to play for you, not real exhaust sound. So I'm really looking forward to getting that exhaust on. So far, I'd say my F30, 335i, 340i, both of those definitely sounded better than this. And I had catted high flow downpipes with AWE catback exhaust on my 335i, and then also catted high flow downpipes on my 340i with a Valvetronic muffler and dual resonator delete. Both of those cars sounded really good. see if we can get the S55 sounding better though. I know a lot of people just hate the sound of this engine, no matter what you do to it, other than I guess the single. If you do a big turbo, that changes it. But there's a lot of people who are like, no matter what exhaust you put on this car, it sounds like crap. Doesn't matter. I don't hate the sound, but a lot of times I do think that N55 B58 do sound a little bit better than this. Let's talk about power now. On my 335 and 340i, I did just stage 2 OTS maps on boot mode. The cars are pretty quick, especially the 340 because it was X-Drive and it's a B58. This car, completely stock. It's not bad. So what I like about this compared to my F30s is this actually pulls all the way to redline. Yeah, with the non-M cars, the power comes in pretty low on both the 335 and 340, but it dies off pretty quick. You need to do a turbo upgrade on those cars if you want it to keep pulling all the way to the end. This car, it seems like, to me, 4,000 all the way to 8,000, that's where like your power's at. And it's fun. I'm still gonna tune it though. I still feel like it could use a little bit more power at the lower RPMs. But yeah, I'm in MDM mode right now. I don't want to do full traction off unless I'm, I don't know, doing a burnout or something like that, or until I get more familiar with the car. I've actually seen a lot of people who, you know, crash these cars and the new G80s, people who just, they're going in a straight line, hit the gas, they accelerate, they're still going straight, and then the rear end just whips out and they hit a wall or hit a tree or something. I'm sure you guys have seen some of the videos. I don't want to end up like that, so I'm just going to stick with MDM mode. I want to get familiar with the car before I try to do any like drifting or anything with it. But eventually I do want to do that because there's actually a drift track not that far from where I live. But that's it. Thank you guys for watching. This was just a quick, not very well planned or very well organized video of me trying to get back into YouTube. I have a lot more videos planned. Hopefully I'm actually going to be consistent this time. So like, subscribe, check out the Instagram, message me on Instagram. I always reply to my messages, and check out all the car products I have linked in the video description if you want to upgrade your BMW and support me in the process.